Welcome to another episode of Gameprism, a little show that talks about everything video game related in a different way. On today's episode, the Game Boy camera Easter egg, the worst licensed Shrek game, and how Plants vs. Zombies 2 was ruined by greed. Now, I'm fairly sure everyone knows about the unusual Game Boy camera Easter egg, and if you don't, let us fill you in. The Game Boy camera, an attachment to the Game Boy made in 1998, it took black and white pictures of truly terrible quality. This is a picture of a fourth tempo taken with the camera. Awful, isn't it? Now that you know essentials about the device, it's time to fill you in with the Easter egg. Menu screen, shoot, run. Easter egg. The Easter egg is, as you can see, quite disturbing, especially due to the fact that the camera was targeted mainly at children. Not to mention any error with the camera can make these faces pop up too. There are 3 of these faces in the worldwide version and 5 in the Japanese one. However, there's also another screen that's far less sinister. And there's one more Easter egg placed elsewhere in the camera. Now, there are many Shrek games, most of them being on 6th generation consoles and later, but there is one Shrek game for the original PlayStation, and it is truly terrible. Shrek Treasure Hunt, released in 2002 for the PlayStation, developed by Code Monkeys and published by TDK Media Active, was awful. I actually played this on an emulator to check it out and make a video all the way in 2019. So, let's start with graphics. And as you can see, they look like a cubist painting turned into an interactive experience that gives cancer. Sure, it's a game for PlayStation, but there are games released before this that looked better, such as Tigger's Honey Hunt. And that game was also made by a third-party developer. Even back then, people were criticizing the graphics. Now, the plot. The plot is explained through one short cutscene.
Shrek is planning a special picnic for Princess Fiona, but all the picnic items have gone missing. The items must be in the swamp somewhere. Use the swamp map to help Shrek locate and collect them all before Princess Fiona arrives.
You have to collect items for a picnic with Princess Fiona. You do that by completing minigames. You unlock minigames by collecting certain items specific to each area. And while you do this, you either question why are you playing this, or you encounter a weird hitbox. I sincerely doubt that anyone who played this had any enjoyment of the game, so don't play it. Now, Plants vs. Zombies is a great game, so obviously there had to be a sequel, and if it was to be made, it would also be great. But then it wasn't. You see, Plants vs. Zombies, for most devices, is a paid game. Plants vs. Zombies 2 is freemium, and that's because of one reason. EA. This game is full of microtransactions. Sure, they don't self-limit your face constantly, but they are everywhere, and they don't limit to in-game currency and power-ups. Premium plants have to be bought with either the less common in-game currency or with real money, depending on the plant. All because of EA buying PopCap and EA being the greedy dirtbags. But despite all that, the game still was received positively, so I guess it isn't a complete train wreck. And that's all for this episode of Gameprism. See you next time.